Hiya, I'm Kaylee Golding from Kiss Fresh and Hits Radio Pride, and you are listening to the On the Mic podcast.
On the Mic podcast.
Okay, so I'm gonna have you introduce yourself, just like a short little intro, like who you are and what you do, and then we'll jump into the questions after that.
Hi, I'm Kaylee Golding, and I'm a radio presenter from Birmingham in the UK. And yeah, I present shows and DJ on a variety of different stations over here in the UK.
Awesome. Hey, nice little intro. Now, the first question is, when you were a kid, did you even imagine you would be in radio today?
When I was a child, I knew that I would want to work in music. Like growing up, I'd always try and be on stages and be just out there, just doing my thing. I always knew it would be something to do with music and something creative. I always knew it would be that. But I didn't really know what form that would take and where that would take me. But I started to get into radio when I was about 14. So as I was heading into like my teenage years, I definitely knew that no matter what, I would somehow be working in radio. Yeah, look around. So I feel very, very lucky and very blessed.
That's awesome.
Doing what I do.
Yeah. That's awesome. I like that. And then how did you get into the radio industry?
So I saw work experience online to get into radio, and I was already a big fan of radio because of my mum always listened to BBC One Extra, Trevor Nelson specifically. So I was already like a fan of radio anyway. And then when this work experience popped up, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do this. So I applied for it at a station called Base FM, which was just like a pop-up station. And then from that point, I was like, no, this is what I want to do. So I completely indulged myself in radio everywhere. So I studied it at college, at university. That was kind of my hobby. So I went to different radio stations, volunteering, did student radio. My whole life just became radio. So, and that's just what I did. I just kept putting out content, putting things out, applying for production jobs until I ended up working as a producer. And then, kept going. And then now I'm a presenter. So yeah, that's kind of
awesome.
Like the short story and how I got here.
That's awesome. Like that. It's a good answer. I like it. And then what do you like about getting to work for like Kiss? Yeah, what do you like about that? Getting to work for the station?
Oh, it is so much fun working at Kiss. It's all in the music. Like the show that I work on, Kiss Fresh, it's all about brand new music, and it's just music that I love, music that I listen to myself. So I can really put passion into it. I love just sharing that with listeners, like talking about what they're getting up to, talking about what I'm getting up to, and just kind of like creating a little family on air. And yeah, it's just nothing better than just playing music. It's like when you go to a party and if you're in charge of the playlist or you're past the aux lead, it's that pressure, but it's fun pressure. It's like, yes, I get to do this. So yeah, I really enjoy it.
That's good. Like that. Then what's your favorite thing about getting to be a DJ and getting to like talk on air and play the music? What do you like about that? And
I'm just a people person anyway. Like the greatest thing about radio is you really get to connect with people, and that's what I love about it. Like it's just direct. It's nice. It's really, really nice. So I think my favorite part is just having a voice and being able to just speak and just communicate with people.
That's good. Like that. And then what do you like about getting to like be on Hits Radio? What do you like about like that? Yeah, it's awesome like that. You're on like 2 stations, and what do you like about like Hits Radio? And
so I'm part of the LGBTQ plus community, and Hits Radio Pride is all about empowering that. So that's what I absolutely love about it. It's about just empowering a part of the community that I'm part of in the music. So whether the artists that we play are part of the community or whether they're just allies that are out there advocating for the community. So it's just really nice to be part of a station that advocates and cares for a community that I'm part of. I love that. And the tunes, some of the throwbacks that we play on Hits Pride, I'm like, whoa, I forgot about that song. That is an absolute banger. So sometimes even I'm blown away by the music. So it's just really, really nice. And what's amazing is that I can be on both of these stations. They are owned by the same company in the UK, and that's what's brilliant about it, because some people will be like, oh wait, no, you can only stay on one station, but I'm like, absolutely not. Why can't I spread my wings and just go and experiment on different stations? So I love that Bauer allows me to do that.
That's awesome. That's good that like they're like allowing you like to be on 2 different stations, and that's amazing.
It's really cool.
It's good. And then what do you like working like for Bauer? What do you like about that? Like, and what do you like about working like with the coworkers that you work with too? What do you like about that too?
So what I love about Bauer is that the company is really empowering and inclusive, and sometimes when we talk about like the music industry or the creative industry, it can get a lot of bad press. A lot of people have a lot of bad things to say about it, but working for Bauer, like, I'm just empowered to be whoever it is that I want to be, and that's on air and off air. So it's really nice to work for a company that I can have my say, I can speak out, I feel uncomfortable about something, I can be part of the conversation, and that is really beautiful, and I really enjoy that. So it really just is a family. And even little things like, I came in as a producer, I was still empowered to be a presenter at the same time. I came in starting on Kiss Fresh, and now I can do Hits Pride as well. It's little things like that. They allow you and empower you to be your very best without trying to, you know, knock you down and say, you can only do this and that's that. So I really, really appreciate that about them as a company.
That's awesome. I like that. And then do you think it's like important to go to college to be in radio, to be like a DJ or something like that? Do you think that's important? Or yeah, what do you think about that?
So I wouldn't say that it's important, but it definitely helped my journey personally. So a big part of that was, one, I am from Birmingham, which is a city away from London, and a lot of the radio stations are based in London. So for me, going to university and having like that student finance and being given money to study, but also being given money to move to the big city, was a massive opportunity for me, because I got to network down here and go to community radio stations. So it was that, but also student radio as well helped me, because it helped me practice, it helped me develop, and I won some awards for the student radio, and that is how I really got my name out there as a presenter. So what I would say is, don't only look at studying, look at what else comes with it. So the location, the student station, what work experience, what past people went there as well. It's all of that combined which will kind of decide whether it's worth going. Whereas I think sometimes people just look at the modules and think that that's the only important thing, when actually it's not the only important thing. There's more to it.
I like that. That's good. Then do you recommend doing like interning if like anyone who like can find like a position for interning? Do you think that's also good?
I think that's essential. Like, a big part of my career started off me doing work experience, volunteering, interning, and just getting myself out there as much as you can. Like, it's that typical phrase, like, it's not what you know, it's who you know. So I think internships are a brilliant way of getting yourself in the door. Throw yourself at it, and while you're there, just learn, try everything, meet everyone. It's just so important.
I like that. Then what position do you recommend starting off in? Like, for anyone who wants to like start off in radio, what position do you like recommend starting off in?
So it depends what it is that you want to do in radio, because one thing about it, I didn't realise that there's so many different jobs in radio, so it completely depends on where you want to be. But if we're talking about being a presenter, then definitely start presenting, online, put content out there, go to your local radio stations, your community stations, hospital radio, student radio, and get out there and start presenting. But I also recommend learning how to be a producer as well, because being a radio producer, you learn what makes a good presenter, you learn all the technicalities, you learn the content that goes into everything, the research, just everything. You learn everything basically. So I definitely recommend for you to have a go at being a producer and learn the ins and outs of radio. Definitely recommend that.
Okay. That's good, like that. And then out of like the artists that you like have been able to interview, like what has been your favorite artist to like your favorite interview?
It was pretty cool interviewing Sean Paul. That was a lot of fun because he is like a legend. So I remember listening to him back in the day, and he's still releasing tunes now, and they're big tunes as well. So it was really, really cool to interview him, and he was just so down to earth, took his time, really spoke to me, and that's what I really appreciate, because I think sometimes when you get to like the biggest celebrities, like, oh my god, like, how are they going to be? Are they going to mind talking to me? They've probably never even heard of me before. So it was really, really nice speaking to him, and he was just really cool.
It's awesome. Like that. That's good that you were able to talk to him and that he was like nice to you and you enjoyed it. That's awesome. And then what do you like about like working with your coworkers? What do you love about that?
I think what's great about radio is that everyone does the job because they really love it. Like, I am surrounded by absolute radio geeks, and I love it because that's what I am. I am a geek to radio. I love it. So it's just really, really nice being surrounded by like-minded people. They just get it, because it's actually a really niche industry to be part of. So I love just being with people people that just get it. They really understand it, and they love it as well. They care about it. They care about the future of radio. So I really enjoy that.
That's good, like that. And what do you love about like getting like song requests and talking to the listeners? What do you love about that?
There is nothing better than when someone comes up to you and they're like, oh, I heard this, because this is the thing. A lot of the time with radio, it's just you in the studio. You don't really know who's listening. You don't know if anyone's listening. You have shows that like you get no reactions at all. So sometimes in my head, I just think, oh, no one's listening. Oh, no one's listening. No one cares. It's fine. And the other day, I was out and someone goes, oh, I heard you talking about the fact that your mum's just moved house. Like, how did that go? Oh, wow. And my mind was blown away because I forgot that I even told everyone about that. Like, I completely forgot about it. And it's in those moments that you think, hold on one second. People are actually listening to you. Like, they actually care about what you're saying. So that is really, really cool. And it's also a reminder, like, to step up my A game and make sure I'm actually, like, doing my job well, because people are actually listening. But in those moments, it's just pretty cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome that you like getting to talk to the listeners, that you like getting to talk to them, and that you love like what you do. That's amazing to hear like that. And then do you think it's also important to post like content on social media, like as a radio DJ? Do you think that's important, or what's your opinion on that?
It's been very important to my journey, especially if you are a young person trying to get into radio, then I definitely recommend it, simply because that is how we all indulge in content now. Like, if you're an older radio presenter and the stations that you want to be on, they're not really into social media, then that's okay. You don't have to take part. But if your station, that your dream station, is really all about socials as well as radio, then why wouldn't you try and get on board with it? Because that's what they're going to expect of you. But also, it's a great place for you to just practice and try out different content, and for you to present. When I'm on my Instagram stories and I'm talking, to me, that is me presenting. I'm still presenting. So it's a great way to just really practice your craft.
Yeah, I like that. And then, do you think connection is important? Like, as a DJ, do you think that's important? Like, to connect like with other radio DJs?
Yeah, I think it's always nice to surround yourself by like-minded people. So it's really nice because it's a great way to be mentored as well, and to ask for advice on things. And I find that really helpful. But also, it's important to also surround yourself by people that aren't in the industry, because they can keep you grounded as well. Whenever I speak to someone and I ask for advice and they're not in the industry, they give it to me real, because they're not in the industry. So they're like, as a real person, this is what I think. So that is really also helpful. And it's important to just have both friends in the industry and also people that really don't really care about what it is that you do. They care about you, but they don't care about your job, because that just really keeps you down.
I like that. And then a fun little question. What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Oh, my favorite ice cream flavor, I would say, is definitely vanilla. I'm a plain kind
That's
of girl.
a good one.
Yeah, I
like
really
vanilla.
just enjoy some vanilla. Yeah, it's really good.
That's good. Like that. I like vanilla, and then there's also another flavor. It's called cake batter from Cold Stone.
Really? I've never ever heard of that. I've never heard of that ever.
It's really good. I like getting the the cake batter with rainbow sprinkles. That's my favorite.
That sounds
Cold
good.
Stone's
That does
pretty
sound good.
I think maybe that I know of right now, I think Cold Stone is maybe in the US only, maybe right now, but I'm not sure if they're in the UK.
Heard of it. I've never heard of it, so yeah, maybe it's just in the US.
Hopefully they get one out in the UK so you can try Cold Stone. That'd be awesome. They're pretty
that would
good.
be great.
Then, what do you think radio will be like in 5 to 10 years?
Oh, I actually don't know. Like, we definitely move in the digital era, and radio is just forever, changing and shaping. But it's one of the longest standing mediums, so I think radio will always exist. It's just going to adapt and just change.
Yeah.
I think visuals are a big part of radio now. Social media is a big part of radio now. So who knows, really? But one thing that's getting very popular in the UK is listeners being able to choose the music that they listen to. So a lot of radio stations now allow you to sign up to apps and to change the next song that you're going to hear, and skip a song if you don't want to hear that song. So it's just going to keep adapting and changing, and that's exciting, right?
I like that. It's awesome. There's like a DJ that I interviewed. His name, he goes by Nugget. He's on Q102 with iHeartRadio, and I interviewed him, and I like what he said. Like, he said something about I think it's something like this. We need to stop competing, stop worrying about who's the number one station and all that, and like
Yeah.
and come together and like get listeners to like not listen to like Spotify as much and listen like to I think like the radio or something like that he said like how he said that. And yeah.
Well, this is the thing though as well. If you look at podcasts, there are a need and a love for people to storytell in the form of audio. Do you know what I mean? Podcasts are so popular at the moment.
Yeah.
So people still care about hearing people's voices. People still love that and they care about it. So it's kind of like, how can radio adapt that, and how can radio ensure that people still want to listen?
Yeah. And then who would you like to give a shout out to? It can be like anyone who's in like radio. Yeah. Who would you like to give a shout out to?
So someone in radio who like I like.
Yeah, like it can be like anyone who like a mentor, or anyone who you have like worked with or anything like that, like who you think like deserves a shout out. It can like be like 3 people you can give a shout out to, like. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I had 3 amazing women that really mentored me in radio. So we have Sasha Brooke, DJ KC, and Nadia J as well. So they were all incredible, like big sisters to me when it comes to radio, and they really helped me, gave me advice, developed me, took me under their wing. So yeah, I'd definitely love to shout them out as well.
Okay, that's awesome. Like that. And then one last important question: where can everyone follow you and check you out? And yeah.
So on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, it's at Kaylee Golding, and on Twitter, it's at Kaylee Golding _.
Then if anyone wants to listen to you, where can they listen to you?
So you can download the Kiss Cube app, and I'm on Kiss Fresh Saturdays and Sundays 1 until 4, but you can also listen on demand, so you can always catch up. And then you can also listen to me on Hits Radio Pride, Monday to Friday, 2 until 7.
Then before we wrap up the interview, can you would it be possible if you can say subscribe to On the Mic podcast and rate the podcast? Yeah.
So I would absolutely love it if you could subscribe to the On the Mic podcast.